Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about this topic, right? About relationship and family. What if I say that you can actually improve your relationship with your family, with your partner, or with your friends by using these methods that I am going to share? We are going to build better relationship with them in long term. So today, this thing that I'm going to talk about is seek first to understand. When we trying to understand other people, their situation, their mind, how they think, how they feel, without judging them based on our perception, means that how we look at things is usually different than how they look at things, right? So when we stop judging them by our own thoughts, our own perception, everything in a relationship will improve. But how? How to cross that bridge to reach to that person's like inner world, right? They will have a bridge or a wall that they build up with you if you have bad relationship with them before, right? They build out this wall that is hard for you to get in because if they can think of last time they're having conversation with you, they maybe experience something that is difficult to them to digest or to accept, and that makes them become defensive, right, of what you say. So they block out you, your ideas, or the way that you talk to them. They don't like it. Okay? They don't like the way you talk to them, the way you give advice to them, for example, or telling them what to do. And that has built out the wall in between you and them. And that makes things difficult to reconnect again. Makes them not as easy to be vulnerable to you like before. So many things happen in a relationship, maybe an intimate relationship. Let me explain this further before we go in a solution. Okay, between man and woman, right? They used to be very loving, right? They understand each other. They have this synergy. They have this unconditional love and understanding and being vulnerable to each other. They used to have that. And time went by, or when they get married, or they're having children, right? Life goes on. Then they get busier and busier. And that woman maybe feel neglected, they're not being listened to, they're not being understood. But they try to compromise that feeling with, okay, I must accept this, I must not bring this out or stress him out. As for the guys, he thinks that, oh, nothing happened, so I just keep doing what I'm doing. And as time drags on, this bring out this emotion that the woman has compromised, right? He feel like she's not getting the things that she want in long term, or this is not the feeling that she felt when she first met this husband, right? Because it used to be a synergy. The person is give and take, right? So they feel something that the person is contributing to their happiness. That's why they get together. That's why they get married. But as I said before, the time goes by. Those giving is gone. Those contributing is slowly disappearing because they have less time to spend with each other. And then they build out this wall that I mentioned just now, that they don't want to have that conversation anymore. They don't want to bring out the problem anymore until there's a emotional bank in each and every one of us. If we have relationship, if we withdraw it too much, right? If there's a 10 out of 10 that you give to that person, to them to feel love, and you withdraw that month by month, year by year, right? You're not depositing anything into the relationship, but you're taking away the love that person would feel, or that you make them feel. So you're withdrawing. From 10, you withdraw until 6, 5, 4, 3, and that is how everything went downwards. Because you are not giving, you are not depositing the emotional bank. Right? It's just like a saving. So in a relationship, it works out the same way. Because we tend to be less understanding to that person when time goes by. Right? We take everything for granted. So we keep on withdrawing from that person, not meeting their wants and needs. So in being in a relationship is to kind of like, we need to sacrifice some into getting some. It's a relationship that comes in both ways. Okay? So you can't just withdraw from that person without giving anything in return. And a relationship is an interdependent relationship. Means that we are relying on each other to fill the emotional bank. And with that, we can create more things for each other. That's why like people comes together, family comes together. When there's something happen, we can support each other, like even emotional support. But in order to work it out, we need to bank in. When we withdraw the value, right, we need to bank in the value to them that is important to them. So to build that deposit in those emotional bank, we need to get into knowing what they need. This is what I read from the book that I'm currently still working on. So first, we need to understand them. We need to get inside them to having a conversation. Means that firstly, we don't judge them by our own perception. Okay? When we're having conversation, try to not use your own perception or trying to teach them, or trying to get your mind into their mind, your perception into their perception, because people can feel that if you are talking with them, if you are having a conversation, they can feel as you are trying to convince them things that they don't agree. In order to not make them feel like that and make them open up to you, is you yourself change to become not needing to convince them with anything. Right? We have to get over that feeling of need to convince them to make them do what we want them to do. Right? It doesn't work that way, because right, they are they, right? They have their own thoughts and feelings and perception. So when we get over that, here comes the active listening. Like we need to listen them with all our attention, and we have to feel their emotion. That means that we have challenge, right? We have to be vulnerable. We have to be able to feel that person. We have to go into their shoes, like wear their shoes, so we can understand their feeling. And to do that, we have to have a very strong confidence with ourselves. We have to work first on ourselves, our ability, our own integrity. Like, because if not, we were going to be pulled into their world. And if that person has a negative energy and you try to open up to them without having yourself to have that stability, you may be affected by them and you will become negative. So work on yourself before really start listening, and also share emotion with them, feel what they feel. But to stand firm is to have your own, your own pillars, your own belief that no one can shake it. Right? No one can destroy your principles. Right? You have to have those principles that is strongly built within you. Right? That simple way to say. And when you learn how to actively listen to that person, to feel that person, they can connect with you. When they are able to connect with you, they are open up to you, then you can work on that relationship. And by listening, it's also like not judging them. Let them speak their word. Let them express themselves the way that they see the world. And why is that important to us, to relationship? If that person is closest person to you, that means that you guys need each other. You guys have to live with each other, or you have to work something out in the relationship in order to have a synergistic relationship, means that we are both giving and taking at the same time, and we are banking on each other emotional bank. That's why we need to get into that mode of understand each other. So seek first to understand, then to be understood. This is what the whole thing is about. When that person feel understood, for example, they let you in, they express themselves, and then they know that you are sincere of what they concern, the next step will be to be understand. You have to know what you want and what you need. As they express themselves, you too need to be expressing yourself, telling them what you want, telling them your concern. Because when they open up their heart, their emotion, the wall between you and them is destroyed. And here comes the cooperation between you and that person. And they are more willing to listen when they put their wall, their guard down. They know that you have best intention for them and for yourself. You want to work things out. They feel the sincerity. And here comes the need of you to be able to communicate what you really want, or what you need, or what's your concern, and let that person to be able to feel your emotion, feel your needs. So that comes to think in win-win situation. When you both have the things that you are concerning, and you want to have a win-win situation, means that they are happy and you are happy. So you have to talk about what you guys want and what you guys need, and together to be able to find a common place to be happy. Like, what would I do to make you happy? Right? And what will you do to make me happy? To have that bank deposit full. Right? So if the deposit is full, there's no way that we can feel resentment and anger, because we keep them balanced. Right? We all need to keep those bank filled and balanced all the time. So when we work that out, your relationship will improve. Your love will restore, because we understand each other. We work with each other's feeling. We are not judging. We are listening, and we are actively listening. Means that there's no judgment when we talk to each other. We just open up ourselves, our feelings, our emotion, become vulnerable. Because the only way to get close to each other is, we don't have that wall in between us. We can see each other clearly, and through that we can work out what we want, what we don't want, and it will only become better. Because when we understand, when we clearly define what each other wants, we can do that. We can act on that. So there's a famous things for this word called love. Before I end this video, love is a verb. It's the things that we act upon, the action that we do for each other. So love is not a feeling, it's a verb. This is what I learned from this book, right? So we do things, we call each other before we get a relationship, we get together, we have this journey, we go for a movie, we go for dinner, right? And before we together and we have kids, we have like 1 + 1 = 3, right? You know what I mean? So there's action in those love, right? Love is a verb. So relationship will work if you work them out, not judging them. Think of win-win. Right? You both get your emotional bank filled, and that makes a good relationship. So don't forget to give and take, guys. We all need to give time to have interdependent relationship, a good one, the ones that we can create more from that relationship. Right? Not just babies, okay? But it's an example. 1 + 1 does not equals to 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, right? When you have kids. Or you can flourish in other areas of your life with your partner. Alright guys, that's all I want to share for today. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you like this video, please help me by like and subscribe to my channel. Right? Everyone plays a part in growing this channel because I think it's a very good way to help each other as a human to develop a good relationship with themselves, with their partner, and all people around us. So sharing is caring. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.